On March 2nd, 1962, Wilt Chamberlain scored 100 points in an NBA game against the New York Knicks. Since then, there's always been the question of who would get 100 points next. But at some point, people realized that 100 points just couldn't happen anymore in the league. This is because Wilt was 7 feet, playing against a bunch of 6'1" scrubs, but now every team in the league has at least one 7-footer. The rules have also changed because of him, making it harder to score now. But on January 22nd, 2006, Kobe Bryant scored 81 points against the Toronto Raptors, putting him second all-time in points in a game. This is seen as the goal to beat now because the NBA that Kobe played in is more similar to the NBA today than the one that Wilt played in. Kobe scored 81 points 20 years ago today. The question I'm here to ask is who will be the one to beat this record in the current NBA? First, let's look at the stats. Currently, the three best scorers in the league are Luka Doncic with 33.6 points per game, SGA with 31.6 points per game, and Tyrese Maxey with 30.5 points per game. Outside of the top three, there are at least two elite scorers in Nikola Jokic and Giannis Antetokounmpo. Jokic's most points in a game is 61, which has him tied for 50th all time. Giannis's most points in a game is 64, having him tied for 28th. Luka Doncic, who is the leader in points per game currently, is 4th all time with 73 points. I think these three, Jokic, Giannis, and Luka, will be the three possible contenders to beat 81, with Luka the closest. But he's actually not the one I think will beat 81. First, let's start with Giannis. Giannis Antetokounmpo is a Greek basketball player on the Milwaukee Bucks, and he is in the conversation for the best power forward of all time at just 31. And by the time his career is over, he will most likely be the best of all time. He's currently averaging 28.8 points per game, and he's a possible contender for this milestone in the current NBA. As I mentioned before, his most points in a game is 64, but I don't think he has the best chance of beating 81 points. So that just leaves Nikola Jokic. Out of Serbia, Nikola Jokic was drafted 44th to the Denver Nuggets in 2015 and has been with them ever since. Currently, he's averaging 29.6 points per game, and he is arguably the best player in the league. So I'm not saying he'll beat 81, but he's the most likely to get there. Going back to Luka, I already did say he isn't in the conversation, but he is just entering his prime, which is crazy to say since he has already had such a great career. And as I said before, he is the closest to it, so Luka isn't completely out of the question, but if the score had to be broken this season, it would have to be Nikola Jokic. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe.